Hello everyone, welcome to the Lang Focus channel, and my name is Paul. Students all over the English-speaking world study Shakespeare at school, and lots of them hate it. Maybe because what they're reading feels a little bit like a different language, and they can't understand it very well. The reason the plays and poems of William Shakespeare aren't immediately easy to understand is that they were written in early modern English, between the years 1590 and 1613. Shakespeare wrote at least 38 plays and over 150 poems, both short and long. Some of these are legendary classics like Hamlet, Macbeth, and Romeo and Juliet. The works of William Shakespeare made a tremendous impact on Western culture, and, more importantly for us here today, on the English language. Of course, there are famous lines from Shakespeare's plays like, "To be or not to be, that is the question." But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an extensive impact on the actual vocabulary of English, including many words that we use every day and many idiomatic expressions that are frequently used. It has commonly been said that Shakespeare created 1,700 words that are commonly used in modern English. We have to be careful with that number and the word created, though. There are many words whose first appearance in writing is in the works of William Shakespeare, but many of these words may have been in colloquial use at the time, while Shakespeare was just the first to use them in writing. And some of these 1,700 words actually appeared in earlier but less known literature. It might be better to say that Shakespeare popularized these words and helped ensure their presence in modern English as it developed. It's hard to know exactly which words he created himself and which ones he didn't. Let's start with idioms, because we have a better idea of which ones originated with Shakespeare. Too much of a good thing. This idiom first appeared in the play As You Like It. You might be a little surprised by what thing refers to in the original context of the play. It's, I guess you could say, its meaning is somewhat adult. The be-all and end-all, meaning the most impressive or important in its category. This idiom first appeared in the play Macbeth. Shakespeare used it with a somewhat different meaning. All that is needed to end all his problems. Macbeth is considering assassinating King Duncan, but wonders about the additional problems it will cause. Come full circle. This first appeared in King Lear. To come full circle means that your actions have gone through a series of stages, but you arrive back at your starting point in some way. To have the makings of. This is an idiom which means to have the potential to become. This idiom comes from Henry VIII. She had all the royal makings of a queen. The original meaning was a little different though. It meant that she possessed things that gave her the appearance of a queen, not that she had the potential to become a queen. Some idioms and vocabulary introduced by Shakespeare have evolved in meaning since then. A foregone conclusion, a term referring to a highly predictable outcome. This is first found in the play Othello. Nay, this was but his dream. But this denoted a foregone conclusion. In other words, what happened in the dream most certainly happened in real life. And again, what happened in the dream was something illicit of an adult nature. Neither rhyme nor reason. This is an idiom meaning that something is completely lacking in logic and order. It first appeared in writing in The Comedy of Errors. But it's a translation of a similar phrase in French, sans rime ni raison, literally, without rhyme or reason. In modern-day English, this idiom exists in a few variations, like without rhyme or reason, or no rhyme or reason. For example, there's no rhyme or reason for his behavior, or he managed the office without rhyme or reason. One fell swoop. This is an idiom referring to an action completed rapidly and all at once. It first appeared in Macbeth. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh hell kite, all? What, all my pretty chickens? And their dam? At one fell swoop? Macduff is talking about the murder of his family ordered by Macbeth, and uses the metaphor of a dangerous bird swooping down to attack. The word fell is used here with its archaic meaning of deadly. As luck would have it, this is an idiom indicating that something happened due to luck. For example, I forgot my wallet at home, but as luck would have it, there was a $20 bill in my pocket. This first appeared in The Merry Wives of Windsor. You shall hear, as good luck would have it, comes in one Mistress Page. There are many more idioms like these, some of which are mainly used in literary contexts, and some of which are commonly used in everyday language. And there are some which are still attributed to Shakespeare even though earlier appearances of the idiom are now known, such as, "It's Greek to me." More common these days in its variant form, "It's all Greek to me," meaning you can't understand something at all. Vocabulary. The vocabulary introduced by William Shakespeare into English developed in a few different ways. Some words were created by combining two existing words. The adverb upstairs is a combination of up and stairs. Similarly, downstairs is a combination of down plus stairs. Birthplace, eyeball, watchdog. Shakespeare introduced a number of compound adjectives consisting of an adjective and a past participle: cold-hearted, cold-blooded, well-behaved, well-bred, well-educated, well-read, ill-tempered. Some words became used in different word classes. After English lost much of its inflection in the Middle English period, it became easy for words from one class, such as noun, adjective, or verb, to be used in another class. Some verbs became used as nouns. For example, the word bump. It first appeared as a noun in the works of William Shakespeare, but it existed as a verb before that. Similarly, control when used as a noun, and hint when used as a noun. Go-between, a noun referring to a middleman or liaison. This comes from the verbal phrase go between. And some nouns became used as verbs. To torture. This first existed as a noun, but Shakespeare used it as a verb. To cater. This is a verb meaning to supply food. This came from the Middle English noun catur, meaning buyer of provisions. Many new words were created through adding affixes to existing words. Successful. This adjective was formed from the noun success by adding the suffix full. Similarly, useful is an adjective that came from the noun use plus the suffix full. Something is full of use. Amazement. The noun was formed from the verb amaze with the addition of the suffix ment. Ment creates a noun referring to an action or the state resulting from that action. Countless. This adjective comes from the noun count plus the suffix less. The suffix less indicates the absence of something. So if something's priceless, it's too valuable for you to buy. There's no price. Employer. This is an agent noun, a noun for the doer of an action, which was created by adding the suffix er to the verb employ. And related to that is employment. For this noun, the suffix ment was added to the verb, the state that results from the action employ. Fashionable. This adjective was created from the verb fashion plus the suffix able, so it means able to be fashioned. In other words, able to be given good style. Majestic. Shakespeare created the adjective from the noun majesty plus the adjective suffix ic. To misquote. The prefix mis simply adds the meaning of mistaken or wrong. Some words were even created by removing affixes. To impede. This verb was created by removing the noun-forming suffix ment from impediment. To negotiate. This verb was formed by removing the noun-forming suffix tion, tion, from negotiation. Some existing words were given a new sense. Cheap. This word had already existed with the meaning of low price, but Shakespeare used it with the sense of low quality or vulgar. Flowery. This word had already existed as an adjective related to flowers, but William Shakespeare used it with the new sense of richly embellished speech, for example, using lots of fancy adjectives. Some words were adopted from French and Latin. Retirement. This word was taken from Middle French retirement, originally meaning act of retreating and act of withdrawing into seclusion. Shakespeare didn't use it with its most common modern-day meaning of coming to the end of your working life. The word generous was taken from French généreux, but it originally had a different sense from now, meaning gentle, noble, or fair. Some words are completely original, whether they originated in colloquial speech or Shakespeare created them. To puke, a colloquial word for vomit. To bet. This word first appeared in the slang of street criminals, but in writing it was first found in the works of Shakespeare. Certain common collocations were first found in the works of Shakespeare. For example, on purpose. The something in question, the thing we are focusing on. For example, the document in question, something you might hear in a formal legal or business context. It's quite amazing that one man who wrote a collection of plays and poetry not only inspired our literary tradition, but also had such a huge impact on the words we use every day without even realizing it. English is now the de facto international language, and people all around the world, including people who learn English as a second language or foreign language, use words and idioms either created by William Shakespeare or catapulted into the mainstream of modern English through his works. And it's impressive on another level as well. It's a powerful reminder that by doing things we're passionate about, we can potentially have a long-lasting impact on the world around us. The question of the day: which of the words and idioms in the video do you use regularly? Did you know that they originated in the works of William Shakespeare? Leave your answers in the comments down below. A big shout out goes out to all of my Patreon supporters, including these ones right here on the screen. They are my top tier Patreon supporters, and that's why they appear in the video. And to everyone, thank you for watching and have a nice day. Visit langfocus.com to gain free access to an exclusive video series on how to hugely increase your vocabulary in any language. Simply sign up for the LangFocus newsletter and you'll receive the free video course direct to your email.